Hi guys, today we're working on statistics and graphing. We're going to be talking about mean, median, mode, and range for data, and then solving some problems based on that. So we'll be looking at some graphing. Hopefully you guys remember mean, median, mode, range, min, max, outlier, and stem and leaf plot. Those are things we've done before. If you're a little unsure about those, you can go back out in Canvas and I will have some videos for you kind of refreshing your memory about those particular items, okay? So SAB page 337, 339. Find the mean for each set of given values. Give an interpretation of the mean. So remember, the mean is the average. It's where you add them all up and divide by how many there are. So we're going to go ahead and read this. Collecting cans. Students collected cans for recycling. Bill had 48. Carla had 16. And Mario and Brianna each had 54. So I'm going to write down both 2 54s. And Centano had 53. And then we're just going to add these up. Okay. Again, when I look at these, I just group them together. So in the ones column, we get 25. Put 5 down. Carry my 2. 4 and 2 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. 5, 5, and 5 is 15. Then 15 plus 7 is 22. So 225. Okay, well that's still not my answer. Now I need to divide. There are how many numbers here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to take 225 and I'm going to divide that by 5. Okay, maintaining my place value and working through. Okay. So 45 is the mean. Mean is the average amount that they collected. 45 cans. Okay, let's try another one. A waiter poured 5 glasses of water. His boss notices that the water glasses are all at different levels. He poured an 8 ounce, 6 ounce, 5 ounce, 11 ounce, and a 10 ounce. Why don't you go ahead and pause, add those numbers up. So 8 plus 6 plus 5 plus 11 plus 10. Add them up. Whatever your total is goes under the division house, and there are 2, 4, 5 numbers outside the division house, and then come back and check your answers. All right, welcome back. Let's do 8 plus 6 plus 5 plus 1, right, is 20. So I'm going to put 0 down, carry my 2, which is 40. 40 goes under here. 40 divided by 5 is 8. So about 8 ounces. That was about the average or mean of it. Okay. Median and mode. Okay, so when we think about median, it's the middle number. Remember, you order the numbers from least to greatest, and then mode is the most frequent number. Okay, so the one that you see the most often. So let's talk about those really quickly. If I was to order these from least to greatest, right, I would have 16, 48, 53, 54, and 54. Okay, to find the median, I cross them off, one end for one end. Okay, the median number is 53. The mode, however, is 54 because it happens twice. Okay, waiter problem, let's see. Oops, 5 comes first. 5, 6, 8, 10, and 11. Again, I'm going to cross off from each end to find my median, my middle number. It's 8. And there is no mode. No mode, because all the numbers only happen once. All right, range of data is the greatest number minus the least number. So when we look back up here at the waiter problem, we're going to do 54 minus 16. Okay, and then on this other one, we're going to do 11 minus 5. 54 minus 16 is 38. and 11 minus 5 is 6. Okay, are there any outliers in the problems above? Yeah, absolutely. An outlier is just one that's really far away. In the recycling one, there's the person that collected only 16 cans, and if you notice, that's kind of an outlier. It's really far away, okay? It's nowhere near what the others are. And then in the water one, you could say that the outlier was the 5 ounces, okay? Those ones are nowhere near the others. Does it affect it? Absolutely. The outlier in the recycling gives a bigger range, and so if you had no outlier, the range would be much smaller. So if you guys look at this range right here, it's huge. And that shouldn't be very big. If that's smaller, you don't have any outliers. Okay, so describe the shape of this data set and outliers and any gaps in clusters. Okay, this is something I'm going to expect you to be able to come back and talk about when we come back. Okay, and I'm going to move on. So I want you to do this one for class. Okay, this is a stem and leaf plot, and I just wanted to go over it really quickly. Hopefully you noticed I skipped a couple of pages. I'm going to put a quiz at the end, and a few of those problems are going to be in the quiz, and that's all you're going to need to do for your homework this evening, alrighty? So I want to talk about this again really quickly. Remember that the stem is this piece here, and the leaf is this data on this side, and when we have something like 8 and then a 5, it actually means 85. Okay, so that represents that. So then we're going to find the mode of the data. That's the number that happens the most often. If you notice in the 8, it has the most data, and there's the most of 82 because there's 3 82s. So 82. Does the data show an outlier? Yes. Remember, the outlier would be 55. It's really far away from all the rest of this data clump that's highlighted yellow. Okay, so that's a huge outlier. Okay, let's take a look down here. Rival college women's basketball team has the scores displayed. What can you tell about the records of the two teams just by looking at the stem and leaf plot? Well, you should know that there are no outliers. Okay. And that their maximum and minimum scores were lower. Okay. So when you look at the max and the min, those are much lower than the previous ones. So if you look back up here at the max and the min, see our min right here? This minimum is much lower than the minimum up top, whereas this maximum is much higher than this maximum down there. So you could say that Crosstown's minimum is lower and Central College's is much, much higher. Okay, compare the means and explain how you found them given this stem and leaf. I'm going to skip that. So what you're going to do from here is you're going to go and take the quiz in Canvas. It's going to be a few of those word problems from the previous pages that I skipped over. So if you need to look at any of them or work them out on your page, that's where you could work them out.